For Duang is just like a kid word, so we use skibidi there. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Brinley. You can also call me Brin. And today we're doing something very special. Today we're having our first ever interview on this channel with a member of the QL industry from Thailand, okay? So today I'm going to be interviewing and having a discussion with Khun Ploy, who is the CEO of RABSUB Thailand. I really appreciate that she took the time to grant me this interview, and I'm so excited for you all to see it. Also, before we jump into it, please make sure you are subscribed. Give this video a like, let me know what you think about it down below, and if you'd like to see us do more interviews here on the channel. So without further ado, let us get into our interview with Khun Ploy. Okay, hello everyone. So for our first question today, would you mind introducing yourself, what RABSUB does, and maybe share one thing that people would be surprised to learn about you?
Hi, I'm Ploy. I'm the CEO and founder of RABSUB Thailand. RABSUB is a translation and subtitling service based in Thailand, and we actually do all kinds of stuff, including like text translation, document translation, lyrics translation, simultaneous translations for live streamings, and also subtitles, which is our main hero product. And one thing everyone would be surprised to hear, RABSUB isn't actually a word in Thai. It came from like a blazing phrase. At a time when I was a freelance translator, I often go and ask my clients, like I was so desperate for work. So I usually went to clients and asked, do you want subtitles? And it says like, RABSUB mai ka? If you learn some Thai. Yeah, and actually is a phrase when you bless somebody as well. Like RABSUB means like to be prosperous or be wealthy. But how we spelled it is different because we use sub from subtitles in our name instead. So
Got it.
if you search RABSUB, it's gonna be us because nobody else spelled it this way. Yeah.
Hey, that's a great origin story. Wait, okay, so you said you also do simultaneous subtitling. What would you say, like, which is the part that might be the most challenging? Would it be something like a simultaneous translation or novels? What do you think?
For simultaneous interpretation for lives, the difficult part would be that you have to understand the person so well enough. Because once when I did translations for C and Nunu, they usually came up with words that if you are not a son, you're probably gonna be confused. So I have to, be in the inner circle to understand what they say. Like one time, it was after an episode of Running Man, and Nunu was like got yellow paint on his face, and I didn't actually watch that episode, but then Nunu just mentioned yellow face in the live, and I was confused, and I typed like yellow witch face, and then I realized, oh, I saw his picture on Twitter, and okay, that was what he mentioned. So the difficulty would be that you have to understand the person so well enough that sometimes they use like chúc mèo. Have you ever heard of this word? Like
I
the first time
have.
I was like, what the hell? Because I didn't understand. Like kiss the cat, kiss the kitty, like the male, which means like charging with the cat, but in terms of like hugging or something like that with a person that looks like a cat. Oh, cute. Yeah, so it's kind of like we have to understand all these things. And sometimes because the simultaneous translation is quite fast, you have to think it fast as well. Because sometimes they mention like the name of like fruit or drink that you're not familiar with, and you have to quickly type it down. And sometimes I was like, I don't even know what it is in Thai, so I'm gonna write tea because it's in that category instead. So we have to switch in, have some vocabularies in our head.
So you kind of have to take charge of the situation and take the knowledge that you have of the person
Yeah,
or of the cultural context, like the juke now.
yeah.
Oh, that's so fascinating.
It's quite pleasure actually because once you got there, everyone comments on the
Mm,
live streaming, and I can't stop. Or I can't just pause a minute and think because everybody is waiting for my subtitles.
right. And are
Yeah.
these typically for like concerts or just for like event lives, as you mentioned?
I'm never done for the concert before, but
Okay,
I'm
okay.
usually doing the subtitles for like the artist birthday live or countdown
Mm,
live. Yeah.
okay. Thank you. That makes sense. Okay. So our next question is RAPSUB exists in a very niche intersection, subtitling BL and GL content and Thai entertainment in general. What was the moment or motivation that made you think, I'm going to build my company around this?
Oh, okay. So first thing first, I did not decide to jump into this industry right away. So back
Okay.
in the day, I quit my job as a office marketing officer,
Mm,
and then I was like, I was unemployed at the time, and I thought of something I could do. And that time was when the COVID hit,
mm,
and when the pandemic happened, every celebrity in Thailand, the actor and everybody had nothing to do but stayed at home, right? So they started doing their own YouTube channels. If you remember that time.
I
So I
do.
started like writing emails to like big mainstream YouTubers like
Mm.
Grace Sapon, like Khun Ploy, Your Boy TJ. I don't know if you know these names, but
I know a
yeah,
few.
I sent them those emails and I got contact. Sometimes the actors even called myself, called them myself. So like I was so excited and everything. And then I did for YouTubers for like 2 or 3 years.
Mm,
And then a company contacted me and sent me a poster asking if I do BL series.
mm.
And I look at the poster and I was like, it's a horror theme. And I asked them, is it scary? Because I'm scared of ghosts. And they said, no, it's just a gimmick. And that is Ghost Host Ghost House, if
Ah,
you have heard of that. So that is my first BL series I ever done in life. Yeah, and actually it's not my best performance. I'm not gonna lie, it's like my first time. I didn't know how to, translate the BL well. So like I
mm,
did it, but after that, many others contact us. And I think I had to start my own company and gather more people, especially those from LGBTQ community to work because I myself I'm a straight honestly,
mm.
and I know that a lot of things should be done by a professional. So like I started hiring more people and they became part of my team, and
Mm.
from then on we got lots of work on GL and BL, and that's why you see us working at this field particularly.
Wow. Okay. So that is amazing. You kind of found your niche.
Yeah.
I love that. Would you say, so you said like there was a learning curve when you
Yeah.
started working in subtitling BL and GL series. Is it because of slang or how would you describe what the learning curve was?
One thing we need to, concern the most would be like pronouns and everything. I was like
Oh.
so traditional at the time. I was like everybody looking like a male, male person. I
Mm,
would say he, him, and I was like
mm,
I did not quite understand how this pronoun works at the time. But then like many people, give me like knowledge and everything, and I started learning that there's so many things we need to concern when we start translating for BL and GL. And yeah, what else I should say?
I think that's so admirable. You also sought out folks who are part of the LGBTQ plus community because that's so cool that they not only have the opportunity to work in this field, right, but also to share the cultural nuances that and slang too.
That's like
Great. Okay. So Walk us through what happens from the moment your team receives a new show to the moment the subtitles go live. What does the journey look like? How many people does one show typically take?
Okay, so I did not talk to the clients myself. So I got an account executive who would be my representative to talk to the client. And after we got the file, we send it to our time code team who will be making, if you know the time codes, like we have to make like a text box for subtitles first. And we do have to complete all of them and then send the file to the translator who will be translating everything and then send it to the proofreading team that will be checking where is a wrong pronouns or there is any typo or any wrong words, unnatural sentences, and they will be editing there. And after that, we send it to the QC team that will be checking everything again, like double check like the slash, the period, the comma, or like the lack of like dash and anything else. Yeah. And after that, we send it to the general manager who will be rechecking everything again. So as you can see, there are so many steps on checking because we are human. So basically, there are a lot of human errors going on. And after that, we send it back to the AE, the account executive, that will send the file to the client eventually.
And how long does it typically take?
I have to talk about like the length of the video and the difficulty of the audio as well. So if it's like the reaction video you guys are seeing an hour, it would take a whole day, 8 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
but if it's like a 10 minutes video and the voice isn't very clear, it's gonna take like 8 hours as well.
okay. Because again, the first step is right. You have to figure out what they're saying in Thai. Is that what I'm catching from the time coding?
Yeah, and also like the words that flowing on the screen as well. So if you are making the subtitles with AI, you're probably gonna miss all this thing. If you have watched series with like without the text or like any translation on like the phone screens, anything like that, it probably because it's AI.
Got it. Okay.
Because as a human, we wouldn't miss it because we can see it right away. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and so let's say hypothetically, okay, like Kimjira has like an hour and a half long episode. How many days would that typically take your team?
1 day and a half.
Oh, that's impressive.
Oh, I don't understand the reaction. It's fast, right?
No, that's fast. That sounds fast. Amazing.
I actually want to say that the most, the most time usage parts would be the checking parts because like the translating isn't that long. It's like you typing whatever you hear and you understand, but the proofreading has to be concluded everything from like unnatural sentences to like wrong slangs and everything. Yeah.
Okay, that makes total sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so personally, as a consumer of series that have been subtitled by your company,
Thank you.
I think one of the things your company does amazing is capturing the cultural nuance, which is not just like the direct translation of the words, but tone and humor and sometimes cultural meaning. So I'd love to know an example of something from any show or reaction video or whatever that was probably like a little bit difficult to translate in a way that would make sense to the people then reading the subtitles.
So like we actually just made subtitles for a show called Crazy Love Moo Moo.
Okay.
Have you heard of that? And
Yes.
in that series, it contains a lot of jokes, especially millennium jokes. So like we have to match the jokes in the series that are actually Thai to American or like a mainstream jokes out there. For the last episode, we got mentioned about the reference we used for a song there. So like in the series, the character Fu was old. So he usually used like old slangs and everything, and he tried to flirt with Moo, the one he had crush on, and he sang a song in Thai from a taxi band. He sang like คิดถึงฉันไหมเวลาที่เธอไม่มีใครให้ทะเลาะ something like that
คิดถึงเฮียไหมเวลาที่มู่ไม่เจอกันกับเฮีย
and
Okay.
the meaning goes like, do you miss me when I'm away? Do you miss me when you feel lonely? And we have to make sure that the international audience understand that is from an old song and also like very millennium thing. So we used cup song from Pitch Perfect to replace.
Okay.
So when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
คิดถึงเฮียไหมเวลาที่มู่ไม่เจอกันกับเฮีย
And it got viral because international audiences find it very funny and relatable. Yeah, and that's the part we do so well. I personally appreciate what my team did as well.
And what goes into making that kind of decision? Do you guys like research what's really popular with millennials? I mean, Pitch Perfect, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So like actually we are like American consumers.
Okay.
Like we consume a lot of like media there, so we got references in our head already. But sometimes our teams are like, you know, Gen Zs and they are not familiar with these, so they have to ask me or maybe ask some other older for like recommendations. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that makes sense. And it's cool that you guys are talking it out because it feels like the thing that at least from talking to you now and watching shows that you've worked on, it feels like something about your company that's great is that there's human behind the words. So it makes total sense.
Yeah, work, you know.
Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, AI. As they're becoming, AI translation tools are becoming more and more common, and sometimes studios are utilizing them to reduce costs. What does a human subtitling team do that AI simply cannot replicate?
I can talk about this all day, you know.
Let's talk.
I actually like when I started my own company at first, I was like, I try to cut the cost because the expenses are so high, and everybody know that we can't, you know, reduce the salaries of our team because otherwise nobody wants to work with us. So like I tried, but at the end of the day, I realized that AI cannot replace human translators. One of the things that they could not replicate would be that AI cannot understand clearly what the pronouns or like the genders they are talking about. Like เธอ if you have learned some Thai, you know that เธอ is like you, but for AI is only for women. So like if you say เธอ is immediately says she or her, which is wrong. And most of the time, like if you are dating somebody, you're gonna say like เธอ for a cutie, you know, sensation or anything like that. So เธอ isn't always for women. And also like one time we saw a drama on Xiao Hong Shu, which is a Chinese social media, saying that the subtitles in Chinese are wrong because they use her instead of him and his. And I was like, no, we didn't do that. We are so sure of that. So I rechecked everything and turned out that the platform didn't upload our file. Yeah, so basically what they were watching was made by AI. And that's why it was like a big T out there. And I know I couldn't clear our name, but yeah, AI always like That's this kind of stuff.
Okay. So it can't capture the
Yeah,
nuance of
as
Thai.
well. Yeah,
Mm.
I have seen many GL series lately with AI subtitles. I would say I assume it myself, but I could tell that it is translated by AI and
Mm.
an assistance of human in editing and everything. But always like if you got AI doing it first, human can't like completely recheck every line themselves because it's like it's a waste of time. So they're gonna be like doing it roughly, and we can see like what missed there.
Is there like a telltale sign for you besides to
Mm.
that AI has worked on it?
One prominent side would be the M dash, because we don't need M dash in our reality. Have you ever
Oh,
used M dash in spoken language? No.
no.
Right. Right. And the name. Sometimes the AI tools translated name in Thai into English. Like, have you heard of that? Like, for example, if you say song,
Mm,
song is like if you spelled it, it would be SONG, right? But
mm.
then like two, where where is this coming from? Like two song.
You know, I have seen that somewhere. On Twitter, someone was calling Duang beetle.
Oh,
Like,
beetle. Okay.
yeah, I don't know. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, someone used AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have seen a lot like five. It became like
Mm.
cotton.
Oh,
Yeah, and
interesting.
yeah, and basically it's like, why are you translating Thai nicknames?
Well,
That doesn't make
it doesn't
sense.
know. If you can talk about it, when you're talking to potential clients, kind of what do you tell them about AI and why choosing something like RAPSUB is like 100% a better option? How do you explain that to folks who are looking to cut costs, if you can talk about it?
I actually asked my admin to screenshot everything you guys said online on X. So we gathered all the feedbacks, ours and also not. Like we had to understand the industry and what people talked about subtitles in general first. So like
Mm.
we captured everything and then we cut everything and put them in the slides. So when we goes to our potential clients and propose to them, we just show
Mm.
them like all the comments, the real comments from the audiences that they do not understand it well. They see that the nuance aren't right, and everything. But in the end of the day, if the clients just want to cut cost or like go for the lowest budget, we can't do anything.
Right. That's
But
frustrating.
everything, like most of the time when we do that, the clients
Mm.
say, "Oh, I have seen it before."
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
But they're like, but I have seen you as well, but I have some options in my head already.
Got it. Okay. Understood. That seems complicated. Your company sits at a very interesting crossroads to me personally between the Thai production industry and international fan bases. So, if you could tell me, what is a misconception international fans hold about the BL and GL industry that you yourself might want to correct, or you think international fans should know?
So like I have seen a lot of comments saying when the series they are expected is on the international unfriendly platform. You know what I mean, right? Like it's so
Mm,
hard for international fans to access. They would say that the companies do not think or care about them at all, which is wrong. So
mm,
basically for the companies, they would like go proposing their deals with every platforms because of course they want money. I know I do business. Money is something we have to prioritize. So like they go for every platform and propose. But most of the time, the big platforms would want the exclusive deal, which they cannot release their versions on anywhere else. And especially those new companies, they want to, gain more audiences as possible. They would want to go for YouTube or like a free platform first for the cut version. But most companies that want the exclusive deal would not let you do that. So like they would like go around and maybe ask like smaller companies for that, and most of them offer better prices. So they go for it. So I don't want everybody to like blame the company right away that they do not care about them at all, because at the end of the day, they will release them for free on other platforms. Yeah, it might take time, but like eventually.
Okay. That is a great perspective. I think
I
not
heard
on a
of that
lot of,
before.
yeah, that's interesting. So, and when you're saying like the platforms inner fans are having trouble accessing, you mean the ones that are like geo-locked outside of
Yeah.
Thailand, right? Okay, got it. I can think of some examples. So recently. Okay, so if you could sit down with studio executives and streaming platforms tomorrow and push for one change in how the industry treats subtitling, content, or distribution, what change would you push?
Use human translations. So that's like a basic request, but like I'm not gonna lie, I searched like the platform name on X, and most of the tweets that coming in my face would be like, "Your subtitles suck." Like I don't understand your subtitles at all. Like, can you change it? I pay for your platform, I pay for your subscription, but I don't get like the bare minimum. And actually it hurts me because most of the time we already propose and offer deals with these companies, but we got declined and whatsoever. But in the end, it's like if we are able to be partners in the future and we could like make a cheaper price or anything, I would love to negotiate, but at least use human translations for English at least.
Got it. Okay.
Agree,
And
right?
typically, if you can speak about this, typically is when people, do they just go for English at first, or is it like English and Spanish, which is like most common?
Yeah. So like English should be the one that use human translations.
Got it. Got it. Are there any exciting projects that you guys are currently working on or are coming up soon that the fans should be aware of that you'd like to promote?
So like the one that we are like the team is so excited for is Khun Ploy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just like we have done Kim Jara Dong Lot, the Kim Jara series, Runaway the series, and similar genre before. So like everybody is quite expected something good from RABSUB, right? So I'm looking forward for the feedback.
And that one is a GL from Star Hunter, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Are you actually waiting for that? Or like, is it in your watch list?
Oh, it's in my watch list. I mean, the shows you just mentioned are shows I very much enjoyed. So
the kind of show you like.
yeah, I like fantasy. So
Okay. So
yeah.
That's the one you can look forward to.
Okay, we will. How does it feel knowing that your team's words become the version of a story thousands of fans remember?
Is actually pressured. Because like because we are native Thai and people expect us to translate it correctly right away. And we always work hard on making sure that everybody understand it. So we usually go for localization, which is like very controversial because I have seen feedbacks that people do not like how we translate sometimes. They want us to, literally translate the word that the actors say. And sometimes it doesn't make sense in English or other languages. So we have to switch and find, like what I mentioned earlier about crazy Love Moo Moo, right? So we have to find a reference or anything like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, we are official translators. We have to make sure that everybody understand, and it's just our style that the clients prefer. So like actually we talk to the clients through and through, so they understand our style, they see how we translate, and they love and appreciate our work. That's why we are working together. Yeah.
Understood. Okay, and for those who don't know, what is localization?
Localization is like we translating and ensuring that the target language audiences understand it completely.
Besides jokes, if you don't mind me asking, what's another way you see like the localization have to take place? Do you have another example?
Like a lot of Thai idioms and slangs are related to some parts of the body, I would say, and when you translate it directly, it would not make sense in English at all. Like we have to, try using other idioms in English language instead. And some people who understand a bit of Thai would hear the word in Thai and they say, why don't we translate it directly or like the whole thing? But as the team sees that it's not gonna work, so like we're not gonna do that.
Got it. Is there like a phrase you can say?
I couldn't think of one right now, but like it's from Duang With You. I have seen like the almost last episode of Duang With You where Duang is like saying some nonsense phrase, "Powo pewe" something at the dressing room, and actually is a famous phrase from TikTok.
การเราได้อาบน้ำแต่งหน้าน้อยเธอมาเจอเราตอนนอนหัวกระตื่นใหม่ๆมันก็โพโวเพเว
It's not like completely nonsense, is a mix of like words there, but oh sorry, that Duang said that, but how Shin perceived would be like that is so nonsense. So we had to make sure that that face for Duang is just like a kid word, so we use skibidi there. Yeah.
ดีเธอให้โอกาสเราอาบน้ำแต่งตัวหน่อยมาเจอเราตอนหัวมันตึ้งๆมันก็พูเพเวดี
And everybody was like, no, powo pewe wasn't like a nonsense thing at all. It is just like a phase from this part of Thailand. But imagine that if we translate it that way, it didn't make any sense, right? And nobody would understand why Duang just say like, well, use a proper language.
Right.
Because the dialect is already a proper language, right? Yeah, so it's like we have to make sure that it's understandable, is relatable, and it makes sense. So sometimes I just want all the audiences to be like relaxed because they always like I hear this, I hear that, and I'm quite sure I learned Thai. I know that it wouldn't be translated this way, and I'm stressed because I actually do not look at those comments because one time I look at comments on like TikTok for upon a time. If you have seen like some little drama there, so like people made a video mocking our translation, like it's too hard, like my brain bleeds. I even myself, I am a Native American. I don't understand shit. Something like that.
I saw that. Let me apologize because at least the way I was reading the subtitles is it sounded like you guys were using historic words. And they were historic words that are in English. So, but I'm pretty well read. But I do think at least if you don't know a word, for me, I look it up. That's kind of my strategy, especially when it's a historical piece. And Love Upon a Time takes place like over 500 years ago, right?
Yeah, and actually we tried to make it easier for you guys because if we actually use the language at the time where the Shakespeare exists, it would be like Dojai, something like that. I don't even understand that old language, so we tried making it easier for you already, but then I got like those feedbacks and I hurt. It's hurt to hear. Yeah. So like I don't go for that. So I ask others to give me like a report on everything people say on our work and something like that.
Is that overwhelming to see the feedback?
Yeah, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Like, I don't know. Because of like, we cannot satisfy everyone. That is one fact. So that we have to make sure that our clients are fine with our work first. Like, if they are like, okay, good. And then the audiences, most of them do not like our translations. We maybe like explain, like my previous admin, like explain everything and then got attacked. I understand it completely because like we also want to share our perspectives as well. Like when I see comments like, why don't you translate it this way and this way? I'm like, sure, we have some opinions and thoughts we want to share with you, whether you want to hear it or not. But I want to make sure that you do not understand that it is incorrect or not accurate. It's just another style we use on the work.
Okay. So you're saying you also want fans to be aware that the subtitles you produce are also approved by the companies themselves, correct? Okay.
Yeah, but like most of the time, the companies do not like read every line because it's like one episode will take like 140,000 lines. So they're probably not gonna read everything within like hours before uploading on platforms. So like we have to do everything for them, but at first when we approach them or they approach us, they already see our work and our style.
If you want to take this opportunity to send a message or say something to inner fans, feel free to say, whatever you'd like to say.
So like, first of all, thank you so much for your support and love. I mean, like I might not be like the one reading every comment, but most of the time when I check X and Facebook and TikTok, I see comments. Thank you us for doing this. And to be honest, it's like my dream as well, because at first I started the company not knowing it would be famous or known by the fans. It's like, I'm doing this because I just want money because I was unemployed at the time. I was like, I did what I could. So like, I just did what I could. But then when we got more people here, of course, we could not let them go. Like we cannot like, whatever we do, we do not listen to any feedback. We did not listen to anyone because we want to do it our way. We try and we open for all the feedbacks because we really want to improve. But for some part that you want us to change or anything the way you want, sometimes we do not, we cannot do that for you because we also have to have our core. We have to have our value as well. If we change for everything you guys want, we wouldn't be here today. We would be like similar to others. We wouldn't be different. Yeah.
Understood. Thank you. So before we wrap up, are there any causes or organizations that you'd like to spotlight or discuss, potentially related to the LGBTQ plus community?
So like for me, I would say all the clients deserve like recognitions because the way that they approach us or we approach them, they know exactly that we are human translations and we cost even more than other production or companies. So basically they know that we value the human translation. So for me, just support them fully because I don't know, I don't like people who have the mindset that like in the fans can watch whatever. Like I can do whatever with subtitles, translation, and you guys gonna enjoy it anyway. That's the mindset, the attitude I don't like. So like if the companies or camps or labels care about your viewing experience, they care about how you would understand or enjoy the shows they produce, they deserve everything for me. So go support every client of ours.
Okay, that's a great answer. All right. Well, thank you so much. We really loved having you. Everyone, please go check out them all on social media, tune into their shows that they are subtitling. I'll link to everything down below. And if you guys enjoyed this, let us know and give us feedbacks because we like to hear it, right? All right. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.